How do business owners in the burgeoning cannabis industry navigate the minefield of rules, regulations, and compliance issues? We'll find out today when we speak with Justin Lipchitz, the managing owner of Realistic Consulting, on this episode of What's New TV. Hi, Justin. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
My pleasure. So tell us a little bit about Realistic Consulting. What is it you guys do and what is your specialty?
Yeah, so Realistic Consulting is a full-service consulting firm based out of Portland, Oregon. We have a long history in the cannabis industry here in Oregon. We have been around just for a few months now. We've seen as new states are coming online that there is a growing need for help in the industry. People are needing to understand compliance, Metrc, and overall just how to run their business better. And we help on all levels.
Gotcha. So tell us a little bit about Metrc. I understand that it's a challenge, certainly for people who might not be familiar with it. What are some of the pitfalls that are most commonly faced by businesses who are attempting to tackle that?
Yeah, so Metrc, just to give you a brief explanation, is the state tracking system that almost every legal state in the U.S. is using right now, with the exception of Washington State, to track cannabis from seed to sale. So one of the big problems that most people are running into is just a real basic know-how of how to operate the system, how to operate it with regulation, and then how to operate it while still running their business correctly. Metrc is a very base level inventory system and a very unintuitive one, unfortunately, at that. So for a lot of people, they come up against a lot of questions and a lot of challenges, and there's very little resource on where to go to get solid answers, yeses and nos, on what can and cannot happen.
I would imagine that is an enormous amount of time is required to be invested in that, to stay on top of that. And would you say that you've probably, I would imagine with some of your experience, got some ways to help some folks save time when dealing with that on a day-to-day basis?
Absolutely. Yeah, being through the regulation process here in Oregon prior to these other states coming online has really taught me a lot of things. One is which rules are really important to listen to and which ones you can kind of slide by on for a while. It's taking away that pressure that everyone feels that, the state's going to come down on them, that, they're going to get called out for doing something incorrectly. A lot of the people who are operating Metrc are not business owners, they're business operators. So they have ownership or, a board of directors to answer to. And in fear of losing their job or their business losing their license, they are very nervous and very concerned on even hitting buttons. Some of my favorite things is just telling people, yes, hit the button. It's okay. It won't break anything.
Right. Yeah, when so much hangs in the balance and you've got to hit that send button and your life depends on it, or the life of your business at least, it can be a little bit intimidating, especially when everything is so new on the side of the business owners and on the side of the government employees who are trying to get everything to run as smoothly as possible, as quickly as possible.
Absolute. It's very, very high stakes. This is a new industry and the regulators are taking a hard stance that they don't want to see any, wishy-washy kind of stuff. So you don't want to ever have a reason that they would ever come talk to you. So it's really, really tough to just understand, yeses and nos. That's the hardest answer to get right now in this industry, unfortunately.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question. Let's imagine that I am a new business owner who's trying to get into the cannabis space, or maybe I am a business owner who's been in the cannabis space for a while but is not yet meeting all of the regulations and compliance and wants to be completely legal. What kind of suggestion would you have for me to make that move?
Yeah, the best thing, as always in any business, is surround yourself with a smart team of people who are intuitive and adaptable. Adapting in this industry is something that will be unparalleled as a skill set to anything else. Regulations change constantly, rules change constantly, processes change constantly. And frankly, having a good team around you that understands that is the best way to go. Also be very communicative with your regulatory people. If you have an inspector assigned to you, become their best friend. You want to ask them questions anytime you can, so that you get an answer. And I always recommend get that answer in writing, so no one can ever say you don't have that answer.
Right.
There's also hiring people like myself. we really pride ourselves at taking a realistic approach to the industry and helping people run a profitable business, but also a compliant business above all else. If you'd like to contact me, you can contact me through LinkedIn at Justin Lipchitz. You can come to my website, which is www.realistic.biz. Or you can email me at justin@realistic.biz as well.
Great, fantastic. Thank you very much for that. And thank you for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure. All right, for all of you, thank you so much for watching. We certainly appreciate it. If you like the show, let us know. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you do subscribe, hit that bell for us so you get notified of all of our shows. Until next time, I'm Jeremy Ladner, and this is What's New.